Good, good evening, everyone. This meeting is now called to order. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis. Trustee Williams.
Here.
Trustee Jenkins. Trustee Fulcher.
Present.
Trustee Thompson.
Here.
Trustee Brooks. Mayor Rudez.
I'm here, Madam Clerk. Please stand for our Pledge of Allegiance. Sonia May, Trustee, the flags. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Are there any general public comments regarding any items on the agenda? Looks like I have none regarding that. Item 5.1A, community, oh, well, go ahead, Trustee Jenkins Bell.
Mayor, I would like to make a motion to
Go ahead.
flip the agenda to where she would be 5.1B instead of 5.1A, Jazara Lewis.
It's all right, you have to make a motion. That a motion? Is there a second to that?
Second.
Roll call, Madam Clerk. She wants to just flip the agenda.
It's the high school girl.
Yes.
She's not here yet, but she's coming.
Yes.
Trustee
Listen.
Lewis.
Both sides.
Trustee Williams.
Both sides.
Trustee Jenkins.
Both sides.
Trustee Fulcher.
Both sides.
Trustee Thompson.
Aye.
Trustee Brooks. Mayor Rudez.
Votes aye, Madam Clerk.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much. Item 5.1B will be now 5.1A, which is a presentation of fiscal year 21 audit by Sarah McKenna, CPA Senior Manager, Audit Whiffley Advisory LLC. Here you are. Good evening, young lady.
Hi, thank you guys for having me. So thank you for the introduction. So my name is Sarah McKenna. I'm a senior manager at Whiffley, and I have overseen the village's audit for the last few years. And so this is my first time presenting in front of you guys, though, so it's great to meet all of you. And so this day, we are going to talk about the fiscal year 2021 audit. So that is the one that we just completed. I believe we issued in like November, December timeframe. And so here's just a little recap. So I have some slides. I think everyone should also have some handouts in front of you, but Chris graciously agreed to flip through my slides for me. So thank you, Chris. All right, so thinking back to 2021, go ahead, yep. So I want to kind of start out with a spoiler alert and go over the results of our audit reports. So in the annual financial report, we issued one opinion on the financial statements. I'm happy to report we did issue a clean, unmodified opinion. However, we did include an emphasis of a matter paragraph just due to the financial condition of the village at that time. There was a liquidity risk, just that the general fund had a large deficit fund balance at that time. And so we just wanted to draw attention that there were maybe some financial issues that we wanted to point out in the opinion. That emphasis of matter paragraph was also included in the prior audit reports, so it wouldn't have been anything new. And then along with the financial audit, we also do what we call like a compliance audit on your TIF funds, and that is something that's required by the state of Illinois. So we do issue what's called like a standalone, separate like TIF report that you would turn into the state to meet those requirements. And in that report, we give two opinions. So one is on the TIF funds' financial statements, and so that is a clean, unmodified opinion. And then the other one, we give an opinion on the compliance of the TIF fund, and we test those expenditures, and then we also test compliance with other state statutes required around the TIF fund. And so we did have two compliance findings regarding the TIFs. One is on the joint review board meetings. The state requires that the joint review board meet at least once a year. And then we did have another compliance finding on the untimely filing of the 2020 TIF report with the Illinois Comptroller's Office. All right, Chris. Along with those two reports I just mentioned, the financial report and the TIF report, we also issue a letter. And in this letter, we call it the required communications letter, but in this letter, it does include any internal control deficiencies that we identified and any what we call management letter comments. And so the internal control deficiencies, those would be considered like official audit findings. And but the management letter comments are more like business advice comments, best practices. Just want to kind of clarify those. In that letter, we did identify 3 what we call significant deficiencies, internal control findings, and then we did have several management letter comments in there as well. I don't usually go into a lot of detail on those findings when I'm doing the presentation. Unless you guys have a specific question, I'm happy to address that. But otherwise, I did just kind of just high level, the significant deficiencies were involving formal approval of journal entries, monthly review of budget to actual reports. There was a lack of segregation of duties in the payroll cycle. And then also just, I think, this last one on the lack of support for transactions was probably the result of just being really far behind in the audits, and so some documents were hard to find at that time. All right, Chris, thank you. All right, so this is really hard to see on the screen, so hopefully you can read it better in your packets.
I'm sorry, I have one question before you move. So on page 2 of the TIF report, are you going to go to that next? Because interfund loans, you have a note on interfund loans.
Yes, you're right. I missed that one. You're right. So the TIF funds do have very significant interfund loans, and so we did call that out as a compliance finding as well. That's not something that we would normally see with those TIF funds. And ideally, that the TIF money is restricted for a specific purpose, and so we would consider that a compliance finding that those are being borrowed from for non-TIF operations, I'll say. Yes, thank you for, I did miss that one. That is another compliance finding. Okay. All right, so kind of going back to the summarized financial information, I did just want to point out some of the major areas. What I have on the screen is what we call your government-wide financial statements, and that takes the village's funds and kind of condenses them down into governmental activities and then your business type activities, and then even from there I condensed it all into one. So it's a total for the village, and this would include capital assets, pension liabilities, debts, things of that nature. So just kind of from a high level, on the statement of net position, I wanted to just call out that the net position for the end of fiscal year 2021 was $13.6 million, with an unrestricted net position deficit of $57 million. So there was a very large deficit on the government-wide financial statements for that year specifically. And then on the statement of activities, it's kind of like your condensed income statement. The village did have a net income for the year, so that's good. It was $1.9 million net income, so that was an increase to your net position, but I think most of that income went to restricted funds, so it didn't really knock off any of the deficit in your unrestricted net position. And then on the governmental fund financials, Chris, if you want to flip to maybe even the next one. The governmental fund financial statement, so that's kind of what you guys are used to seeing on your day-to-day. I did have a little information on that. So your total governmental fund balances were $22.9 million with an unassigned fund balance deficit of $33 million. So that was, it's a little less because it doesn't take into some of those net pension liabilities. That the $57 million was a deficit on the government-wide side, but in your funds, you guys would probably see more of a $33 million deficit in your fund balance. The net change in fund balance in fiscal year '21 was a net income of $3.1 million. So that is positive. And then I did call out some page numbers just to kind of talk about that. It goes into more detail about the differences between your fund financial statements and your government-wide financial statements. And I also did want to call out, we did have something unique for FY21. We did have some restatements that year. So in the restatements related to some missing TIF 5 payables, and that result was like $1.9 million. And then there was a correction of an error in the way that accrued compensated absences was calculated relating to like floating holidays. So that was about $600,000 of restatements. So we did restate the FY20 numbers in the MD&A section of the report. But I just wanted to kind of high level, that was the results of the FY21 audit. Is there any questions? Or anything you want me to go in more detail on?
Well, really, I guess it's not really toward you because it's not, this is more it's not with the numbers, but it's more of the administrative part of it, the operational part of it. So for a lot of the different things that was stated, like if you go back to page 2, just wanting to know from Manager Scott, what are some of the things that we have done to fix the problems that was addressed? So, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Specifically, do you have anything specific or not? Yes, the interfund transfers, the manual journal entries that was done, has that been rectified? I know we haven't received any monthly review of the budget to actuals. Is that something that we're going to start getting?
So that happens when we have the finance committee meetings, which I think the last couple were sketchy. But for the most part,
Those are reviewed during the finance meetings, and they're actually listed on the finance agendas. Now, as far as the interfunds, that's actually a question that I had because the board had a question about charging off. They said it was taboo. And so I kind of wanted to ask you, because it was mentioned in the TIF compliance, I think it's the second to last page, that was mentioned, and I want to know, what do you suggest that the village do to address the interfund? There's only a couple options, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to reduce your general fund expenditures, and then you have to come up with a repayment plan. That is what we would recommend.
Right, because that was going to be the next question, like, have we started a repayment plan as a reduction of expenses? That'll be a lot of expenses to reduce to get to that schedule, but a repayment plan over so many years,
Yes.
I think is the best
Yes.
but it still needs to be repaid.
Yes, it was a lot, so it wouldn't be something we would expect you to fix overnight, that's for sure. But we would expect there to be a plan that was spread out over a set number of years, whatever you guys think would be reasonable. And we also do have, in addition, it's part of one of our management letter comments is on the interfunds, and just that, recommend that you evaluate the balances. Maybe, some of it's not always TIF related, but when it's the TIF fund specifically, those are restricted, but you could have other interfunds that are between funds that you're just like, you know what, we're never gonna pay this back, and that's okay sometimes. But maybe, working with Chris, he can kind of help guide you guys on which funds are restricted and what ones have to be paid back in the future.
Chris, you had a comment as well?
Yeah, that's what
In regards to budgets and actuals, the financials that I prepare for you guys and provide every month, those do have budget and actuals.
Yes, they do.
You don't have to go line by expense account number to be in compliance with that management comment. When you look at those financial statements, there is a budget and actual on there, so that does alleviate that comment for the budget and actuals once you get to that audit. That will be gone because you guys do receive monthly budget and actuals in the format similar to what you see in the financials. In regards to the comment of approving journal entries in the payroll cycle via implemented internal controls, then we'll have that there is a multiple review process as to how payroll is processed, so that will get rid of that management comment. And then the same thing with journal entries, we're having a review process as to how journal entries are prepared, how they are subsequently reviewed by the finance director, and then they are posted to the village's books, which will then eliminate that management comment.
Okay, so there's new internal controls that's covered all that stuff. That's what I want to know.
But I will say, because some of the changes, you know, because the village is behind on their audits, because some of the changes weren't implemented until maybe fiscal year 24 or 25, that you might see some of these comments still repeated for like the fiscal year 22 audit or 23 audit. I just kind of want to like, just a heads up on that. Just until the year it gets fixed and we can see those changes happening, you might see some repeats.
So Chris, as of right now, you all are not doing all of those manual adjustments and changes,
No,
right?
right now, the current process is finance director is creating the journal entries to report the bank activity. It is being submitted to our staff for review. We review it, she posts it, and that's the process. So that way, there's a preparer and a reviewer stage.
Okay. And then for the audit, so when you look at it, it's more the government side of it makes it seem like, I guess it was a recommendation for maybe, I think I'm recommending to separate the government side versus the cash side, because it kind of seems like the cash side is not as where it should be. It's as you say, the liquidity of that section. So if we separate it to really get a good view, I don't know if, Chris, that's something that you provide right now, to separate the government part of it, which is the assets and all that stuff, from the liquidity of the cash. Because it makes it seem like we have a lot of cash, but that's because it's including the governmental side, right?
And when you say the governmental side, like you're talking about like the things, like the capital assets, like things
Correct.
like that, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So with the capital assets and all that type of stuff, it makes it seem like that
Right.
there's a big number, but when you're actually looking at the general fund, we actually are a deficit, correct?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
maybe if we able to look at it separately to, you know,
So
Yeah.
financial statements you guys are prepared. You guys do have what you guys have is on a cash basis. The financials that are prepared to you. When she's looking at the long-term liabilities, those include the fixed assets plus all of the liabilities that you guys have. So in your guys' liabilities right now, based on the audit, you guys have nearly $27 million in pension liability, which is included, which is what offsets to that unassigned general government-wide net deficit. Those are not in the financials that you guys review every month. We do not prepare full accrual, yet you said before, fund financial statements, because those are when you take into consideration your fixed assets and your long-term liabilities. What you guys look at on a monthly basis are the fund financials,
Yeah.
which those reflect your guys' current assets and current liabilities, which are used to pay current expenses. So when the government-wide, those are the longer, long-term picture as to what are you guys having as to pay over the long course of the entire life of the village. So cash-wise, you would run your cash against current expenses because your cash is to reflect your current day-to-day operation.
right, I understand the current expense. I'm just saying in general, it says, like you said, it's a net, but the general fund is a deficit. So the general fund is what the villages work off paying all the bills and all this type of stuff. So when we look at it separated in that manner, it gives us a better understanding of where we at financially than just looking at including the capital assets. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that is it a way where we could see it separately? Something like, do you break it down that way from the auditor's standpoint?
I mean, we do present fund financial
Because I know that's
statements.
something that it was mentioned in your reporting.
Yes, so we do present fund financial statements. Like if, I don't know if you guys, do they have bound books? Okay. On page 14 is kind of where it starts. And so that is just your fund financials, and you can kind of, that's where you'll see like specifically the general fund kind of by itself and what the deficit is specifically for that fund. Does that help answer?
Well, just
really
for this,
want to answer
you know,
your
this is the
question.
yearly audit thing. I'm just saying in general, but we don't see this, Chris. You're saying we just only see the cash part, with not including the assets, or is including the assets when we see it on a monthly basis.
What you guys see on a monthly basis is the fund financial statement, which is cash basis, no fixed assets, no long-term liabilities.
Okay.
That's what you guys see on a monthly basis.
And so it does include, like, you know, the fund financials still include a balance sheet and an income statement. So it would have both your assets, liabilities, your fund balance, and then there'll be a separate statement for your, revenues, expenses, and change in net income.
Okay.
The balance sheet that I provide you guys is similar to page 14 of the audited financial statements. And then the income statement is similar to page 16 of the financial statement,
Yeah.
of the audited financial statements.
Okay. And then for the yearly board review, TIF review, is that something that is scheduled for it's going to happen for 2026?
Yes, I do intend to have a joint review board committee meeting to be in compliance with the TIF Act.
Okay. Because it's been a while, but that is scheduled for 2026. Okay.
Actually, we have it scheduled for February 25th at 6 p.m. I just scheduled it, so it hasn't been on that yet. That's Wednesday, February 25th.
No, she said the joint review board for the TIF, February 25th. I don't know, there's all the taxing bodies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else, Trustee Sonia?
No.
I see you no? Absolutely.
Thank you, Mayor. This is not even political, but just listening to the numbers, I want to say after, what's this, 10 years now, I'm still correct. The numbers are, she said 1.9, I was off maybe about 100, what I kept saying, 108, 1.8. So, I mean that, I'm just glad that we have trustees. I'm glad to, this is probably the most attentive board of them all, not knocking those before me. But I want to say that I was not off. This is right on. And what I appreciate is that all my colleagues up here right now, just the attention that you're pouring in. I feel that if we keep this same energy, Ms. Scott asked the same question. She asked the same question that I had actually asked in 2017. The only way we're going to get out of here is through paying it back. It doesn't matter if you follow the policies of 1990 of the Clinton administration. I believe it's called third party way. I want to say that's what it's called. But what we do is that we pay down our debt, but we also keep bringing in the revenue. I think I heard the mayor said, just making sure we're circulating the dollars inside the community. But with TIF 5 and those other TIFs expired, money will still keep coming this way. We just need to be careful when we start expanding on more TIFs and the deals we do, because I know we're going to be expanding as a village, but let's just make sure we make good deals on it. But other than that, pay down that debt. And our 1.9, that will become bigger than 1.9 or 2 million. And actually at one point I thought it was bigger than that, but it said 1.9. I thought it was bigger than that. I thought it was more like 2.4, but that was me guessing on something else. So that was my comment towards board members and me saying what I've seen since 2017. So I yield my time.
All right. Is that it, everybody? Trustee Lewis?
Trustee, it's called the third way. The third way.
Scott?
I have one more question. Ms. McKenna, in your professional opinion, direction of the village's finances are moving.
I, I can only account for fiscal year 21 because that's where I ended. If anything now, I would have to defer to Chris, but it was trending the wrong way in 21 at that time. I don't know. From what I hear from Chris, he's very positive, and he makes it seem like it's getting better. So I hope that's true, and I hope to see that the next audit that we do. And just to kind of expand on your comments, it really starts with the budget. That's where you start. You start with the budget, and that's how you create your plan, and that's how you try to stick within, the planned budget. Stick within those expense limitations. And then I think you guys could experience, good things from there. So, yeah. Yes.
Board pleasure, we're going moving forward? Yes. All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
School learner resident here of University Park. Mrs. Lewis, it's on you. Yeah, I called you earlier. This is it. Yeah, this is it. Ain't no reports, none of that stuff on which college.
Andy, you gotta hold that up.
Oh, no.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Didia Oliver, and I'm Jazar Lewis. And I attend Creamonte Middle School as a graduating 8th grader. I must complete an exhibition project in which I have to research the local environment, figure out what needs there are, and come up with action plans that may help solve these problems or better our community. This assignment is a large percentage of my grade. My 3 areas of my research are: 1, last trash in nature areas, protecting local animals, and saving water and energy. I came up with a few action plans that I think will help each problem area. I'm asking for your help with planning and aid with setting up for each action event. I would like to organize an annual community cleanup day with the help of the elected officials, Public Works Department, and community helpers. I can create a flyer, but I need a scheduled Saturday date before March 23rd, and a flyer posted to the village website. Me and my Southland Angels will keep it clean and cute. Right here. The goal is to get 50 volunteers signed up, both adults and teens. We will also need supervision and each child to be chaperoned. I want to encourage the village to place 3 garbage bins: trash, recycle, and compost. Right here. This is regular trash. This is like water bottles and plastic. This is like dirt and stuff right there. I also want to do a YouTube video encouraging Will County and state officials to open a local animal shelter in eastern Will County. Video to be shot in front of the Forest South Animal Hospital. There was a hospital that got closed down, and I wanted to open it back up because I love dogs. Like, I really love dogs and I love animals. Aqua is our main water supply. Like the poster says, water should be reliable and safe, but it is not. In some homes, lead is still in the water. Most households are now paying double on their water bills, and many parents are complaining about this huge problem. The worst part is that our school has no water in our fountains because of the contamination. We haven't had water to drink at our school in 4 years. This is really bad, and many get dehydrated. Can anyone tell me who to talk to in order to get our school water fountains back working? I want to also ask for flyers and handouts on the Aqua Relief program. I plan to send flyers out to the school parents to help families save money on their water bills. I must complete all action plans above by March 23rd, 2026. And I thank you all in your advance for whatever y'all help me with, and I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. That's a very nice presentation, Ms. Lewis, and it's very good to see our young people concerned about the environment.
That's right.
Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah. What was the first one? The three beings, what was the first action plan?
To organize an annual community cleanup day with the help of the elected officials, Public Works Department, and community helpers. I can create a flyer, but I need a scheduled Saturday day before March 23rd and a flyer posted to the village website.
Okay. Thank you.
You can count on me, Josiah, for anything regarding Aqua. I will definitely be there to help you with that.
Okay, thank you.
I would like to donate to your organization to help with whatever you would like to need, you know, whatever you need on your cleanup day. And I will try to bring at least 10 volunteers to assist you.
Thank you, I did talk to Chris as well, too, prior to, guys, you gotta help us.
Use that microphone.
Also, they do, the Community Block Club does cleanups. And, you know, you should reach out and partner with them as well, you know.
Okay.
That will help.
Mutual trust, okay.
Get you some volunteers.
So go, okay. And so they're gonna create a flyer. So the main thing we want them to do is the school, so they're gonna go to all the clubs and invite them as well, so we could try to make this a big day. So they'll go to all of the representatives at the school too. So we just really need the village to oversee, you know.
Ms. Lewis, we did have the water relief program that was offered in the village, so that's something you can add to your program if you would like to talk to Ms. Scott or Ms. Gina. That was offered to residents of the village to add to your report.
We just completed that program. We helped approximately 140 residents. So I can give you that information. Provided it to me. But if you have some time, I'd like to set up a meeting with you next weekend. And also, do you have the logo for your organization so we can add it to the flyer?
Yeah.
All right. If you could send that to me tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
So how's the people supposed to sign up? Where you want to get volunteers to be signed up? Do you have something that you're posting at the village, or how are they gonna?
Yeah, so they're gonna do it in the next few days. They gotta create, they are going to do, because they gotta do all of this stuff themselves, so they're gonna create the flyer, go on there and practice learning how to do the flyer, and then also, I have a risk management. We're going to ask that everybody signs a waiver. So I have that. I'll add that to that. And then how do you want us to get it to you, Ms. Scott? How do you want this the sign-up process to go? Okay. 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 So Trustee Fulcher, I'll let you know exactly as soon as we decide. I'll make sure that everybody gets it
Also,
at the village.
I think that you should reach out to the executive of Will County to see if she would sit down and meet with you in reference to that animal hospital becoming a shelter, because it's just sitting there. And they do have one in Joliet. It is one there. And we could use one on the eastern side of the county as well.
Oh, that's what it is.
Not really.
1.6 million?
1.6 million?
Okay.
If that's
We Any other questions? And then everything that she discussed is in those folders. And then y'all can just call me if y'all got any questions.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. And you know what, just off the record,
Thank you.
those two young ladies play on the Crete Moni Middle School's basketball team. They the bomb. They can play. They can play really good. Yeah. Well, I seen them on the basketball court. All right. General public. What's I have, Mr. Sacco? Mr. Sacco, what we got there, sir? All righty.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, crazy. Thank you so much. Deborah J. Stroud. You know y'all funny. Y'all better stop listening to the radio.
Said that Sunday to him. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
A PSA announcement for seniors. Will County Senior Services Center has a free tax preparation which AARP sponsors. You have to pick up a checklist and an intake interview sheet, and they will do taxes for seniors free. I went and picked it up, so I know what I'm talking about. Pardon? No, they asked that you only pick up one set per person. So I drove all the way to Joliet to pick it up. I'm not giving it up. You can schedule the appointment in advance, but appointments are filling up very fast. Instead of charging a fee, they ask for a donation because the volunteers from AARP are not getting paid. They are volunteers. But I want to make sure that that service is known for seniors in the community. And, excuse me, this past Saturday, right here at 90 Town Center, I attended a civic organization event. Community Block Club held their 5th annual Heritage Showcase. I wish I had seen more University Park residents in attendance, because having gone back to and listening to Trustee Brooks while he was hosting gave me a lot of reflection. The first Heritage Showcase was held right here at 90 Town Center. And I'm gonna take this moment, when I saw Mary walk in the door, I was so glad, so I can tell her thank you for giving me the opportunity of coordinating that very much. From what I see that the committee is doing now, it's growth and development. The 6th annual, I think each one should bring one village resident, because I think that just heightens it. I like the way it was presented. Of course, Karen Brooks kind of made me feel like I need to bone up on my history because of the games that she came up with. I didn't know I was that lax in the knowledge of Black history, but she gave out some nice game prizes though. And what else? The fact that that the committee gives awards out, that's recognition. Anybody, like you spoke of volunteerism, anybody who volunteers appreciates being recognized. So to me, from me to everybody on the committee, kudos. Well worth attending. And please pass on to neighbors, relatives in Will County about the tax preparation. Everyone have a great evening and a happy Valentine's Day. Okay.
Yes. You've heard my name. I am a resident in Moray Village. My issue is my water. I've given the village manager 5 copies of my tests, my water tests, going back to 2019. when it was good. Our worst testing was in January of this year, and it is terrible. It has never been good after 2019. I think you have, I don't know if she has given you the copies of the tests.
Yeah, I passed them.
But all of them you will see it fluctuate, but it never went below. January, we got the worst reading. And I'm appealing to you all to see, where we are with this. What's the problem with the TAP program? Am I the only person getting these numbers? How many more of us are in the TAP program that are having this problem? I've been working with Gina Williams side by side through this here all the time, and she's been very helpful trying to get me water because I can't consume the water, and I'm tired of these little 16-ounce bottles that they're sending me to. So I'm here to appeal to you about my water, and I'm sure that I'm not the only one in University Park whose water is terrible. We're getting poisoned here. Please. This TAP program, the biggest thing that they did there was move the meter from inside of my unit and put it outside. That's what they spend most of the money on. That had nothing to do with trying to remedy the lead situation in the water. They went underneath the kitchen sink, they changed the flex hose and two shut-off valves there and changed the faucet, and that's all that they did. So I don't know what they were trying to remedy. The source is obviously in the pipes. I see they're changing the big pipes outside. I don't know if that is going to change, the quality of our water. But please, can you all please address this?
Yes, Mr. Lynch, absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you much.
I'd like to circle back with you and because we'll get his information and we'll talk.
So, Mr. Lynch, I'm actually right now, as you're speaking, I've been typing a letter to our attorneys regarding this, and I have my assistant, she just brought it back on the scan. So I've scanned this over to the attorneys now, and I have a lengthy email describing the situation. And I'll follow up with a call tomorrow, because like I told you, we're still working on some stuff.
Good.
So I had a meeting with the attorney last week about some of the aqua stuff that I still see outstanding and issues. So I'll follow up with you after I call them tomorrow.
Thank you much. This is an urgent alert. I'm sure that I'm not the only one. I don't know how many other people here are on the TAP program and what your water tested as. But please,
May
I'm
I
in
be
your
recognized?
hands.
And as you know, Mr. Lynch, I have communicated with
Yes.
you on a regular basis.
Yes.
And I have talked to the IEPA, Barbara Lieberoff, and according to her, it was 238 people that signed up for TAP.
Okay.
And I know you were one of the ones that had the Calumet Plumbing come out and redid your pipe, and I was constantly making sure water was delivered to you.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate that in that structure you're in, there's other people that live there, and they didn't sign
They
up for
didn't
TAP.
participate in the program.
And they didn't participate.
Yes.
And her reaction to me, her reply was, well, Gina, they didn't sign up. But regardless, if he's getting it in his pipe and all of them are under the same roof, that's the same pipe running to all of those other individuals. And I told her, we cannot sit around and know that there are people and families getting poison in their structure, and that I have to call Aqua, sometime I get pushback, to get him more water.
Yes.
And get those other people water, because we don't know. So I have sent a letter to Bert Odelston. I have it in my phone. And I talked to her on Friday. She assured me that if I could get a list of the people in Monterey Village number 3, and if they think their water is bad, cloudy, it smells, whatever the case is, she said she will personally, she's not going to have Rambo, who was from TAP. She was going to have the IEPA technicians come out. She also told me, Gina, I contacted my upper management, and that she sent a request to the AG. So I'm constantly on her back, and I'm constantly making calls for him and wanting to know who else has this issue because we're not going to sit around and play games with Aqua.
Yes,
This is going on for too long. We just heard the young lady from the middle school. 4 years? 4 years and the fountains are still taped up. 4 years I have to send my little Mylon to school with a bottle of water.
Yes.
Because they don't have fresh water. Right. And that's why I say the fight isn't over. I'm going to continue to stay on their neck. I'm going to continue to fight for you, Mr. Lynch, and the other people. And it ain't got to be limited to Monterey number 3. It could be 2, 1, Russet Oak West, all of those HOAs, and people not in the HOAs. The 2,500 people that are under that watch, we need to know what's going on.
Very true.
And with the price going up, I need people to call the ICC, Illinois Commerce Commission. And you can call them for Aqua, you can call them for ComEd, you can call them for NICOR. If y'all look at the news, Indiana, NIPCO, or whoever their provider is, they are charging them off the chain. Those people are bleeding, paying money to keep their gas and lights on. So we have to, as a community, we talk about it, but then we sit back and do nothing. Right. Well, I'm not a do-nothing person. I do something. I'm not talking about it. I am about it. So you know it for a fact.
Yes.
And several others over there know it for a fact. Karen Lewis knows it for a fact. Natalia Hill knows it for a fact. We are going to continue this. And I like anybody else. It ain't got to be limited to me. Mr. Brooks was on the Aqua. So anybody wants to join the party, please. We cannot keep going down memory lane and having this bad water. We should be fighting on the news, making media headlines, bringing Ben Bradley out here, Channel 9 News. We got to make the noise, otherwise they're going to just roll over and play dead and act like, oh, well, it's just a bunch of out there, give them what they want. No, we're not taking it. And I really appreciate it.
I hope this lights a fire underneath us because, like I said, I'm not the only one. And I appreciate Gina has been working with me feverishly all the way through this, even to just get me water.
She tells me.
Yes. So I just wanted to bring this to everybody. Now you've heard it. Please.
Thank you again.
Thank you much for your time.
Yeah. Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say, maybe if I know that when this crisis first happened, that I think we had, we initially, I know we had an attorney when we first got on that call, but it was more to protect this type of situation. Maybe Attorney Tillman will tell me, to me, this seems like this is, even though they said they was in compliance the last time when they did this, would this constitute more of a new incident that University Park can probably take initiative to saying, Mr. Lynch, considering he had gave the test level, that it never got any better, but that we can say it hasn't gotten any better. You know, because I know we had Attorney Fain was supposed to be on that second attorney we had, but maybe we need to go back to that step that we had take, minus what mistakes. So I'm talking about, forget the past, but I'm saying a new attorney to come in that will focus on this, because I'm gonna tell you tonight before I got here, and I just said it to Jewel when she was when Gina was talking. When I was brushing my teeth, the water was stinking. And so when Karen turned on the faucet, it wouldn't come out. So, you know, I'm thinking, I'm not a plumber, but, you know, man of the house, open up the
main, whatever.
The what you call the screen that's on your.
The aerator.
All black, Mayor. And as I opened it all the way up to flush it out, all black was coming out of my faucet.
Trustee Brooks, take pictures next time.
Yeah, I know we got the one picture. We took the one picture, but you know how you see it and you look like, I can't believe what I'm looking at. So it was a stage of shock. So maybe we should entertain as a board. It's almost like, it's not a double jeopardy. We're not coming back after them. You see what I'm saying? It's not a double jeopardy. Maybe if we, I don't know what Bert is going to do, but if we can just have that focus of coming back to fight on behalf of the residents, because this is not going away. And if Mr. Lynch is going through this, and I just had this tonight with my faucet, and I know if I test it, it's going to test positive. And I just told Gina Williams tonight, how it's not in the solder. I will go to my grave saying, not that I'm leaving soon, but I will go to my grave saying, it was never in our pipes. It's in their pipes. My house is there is no solder in my house. You can come look. There is none, but why do I keep testing for lead? There's no need for the TAP program in my home. So how many more homes are like that? So I think we probably need to dig deeper as a board, spend the money for an attorney. Yeah, exactly, right. And we may have to fight this out, Mayor, Board. Mr. Lynch is showing us that we did everything that they said or they asked us to do as a community. They went before Judge Anderson saying, look, we're in compliance, in which we know you can't quite be in compliance when you cherry pick certain homes for the testing. So maybe if that's, we can entertain somewhat more intense to follow through on this, because it's obvious it's not going to stop. It's going to be one of us on this board next that may experience what I experienced tonight, or experience the test that Mr. Lynch got. So I yield my time. That's my comment.
Well,
The chemical mixture.
the thing is, it was 2017, we went from well water to the river Kankakee water. And they said that orthophosphate chemical that they put in the water caused this. That whatever it did, it was supposed to cleanse our water, and a lot of people were like, oh, the water is good. I remember even Miss Morgan said she can make her coffee with the water. But then we only found out later that it wasn't good. And whatever that substance was, it was bad for us. And I'm wondering, because we got more autistic kids, all kinds of stuff, people got elements, all kind of illnesses, and we don't know the long run. And what hurts me is to see these seniors have to get these coolers and then have to have somebody lift those heavy bottles, because my neighbor, Miss Taylor, my nephew goes down there once a week to help her. We got people with shoulder aches, back aches, all this because of aqua.
Yes.
And it's not going away until we continue to fight and do something. I mean, I'm not going to stand still on it. I'm going to keep on working. I got a list of people like him that have told me their water is still bad. The rates, the test results are not getting better, they're getting worse.
I don't know how
and they came out to my house and said my water's good, but I'm still smelling eggs. I'm like,
Thompson.
I'm still using bottled water in the bathroom.
Yeah, but when you bathe, and you still wind up drinking some of that water one way or the other. Even if you're cooking with a bottled water or what have you, you bathe and you brush your teeth, you will digest some of that water. And you do it often enough and long enough, you will eventually affect your health in some way or other, So I don't know how we can prove to them that, it's not in the pipes that are coming to their house. It's in the, the chemicals in the water.
See, Mr. Lynch. Wait a minute. Go ahead, Trustee Thompson.
So, Mayor and Board, do you guys remember when I don't know if it was Attorney Odelson or whoever it was, referred us to this attorney that handles just this specifically, this specialty of water? Maybe we need to get back, maybe we need to consult with him. It would be worth it.
It's worth that phone call?
Yes.
So let me just say this. It's very evident that there's some kind of problem in the community. There's two ways, oh Lord, is right. There's two ways we can solve this. We can collectively continue to beat up on Aqua and the IEPA. We can definitely demand that they deliver the best quality water that they can at this time being. But the future goal is actually looking at trying to get a new water source, and it's about $130 million. But collectively, there's ways, I really believe, if as a community, that we can jointly get together and find a way and start a path of moving in that direction. Because no matter what we say, these are private-owned water companies. Now they've merged. Now we don't know who's who in reality. But we do know that there's opportunities out there, but our opportunity comes in lack of funding, and now we don't know what's happening as far as the environment in the White House. And it's funny you mentioned that, because the manager just asked me today, when is the last time that we've reviewed our comprehensive plan, which has been some while. I think we've looked at that when I was a trustee, maybe in 2007 or 8. It's been some time, and we're really considering 14, amending that comprehensive plan, because times have changed. And with that amendment of that comprehensive plan, with the community input, there may be some direction or opportunity to actually seek out a real water source. Because one thing for certain, we have a great community. We don't want water to be our problem, because we have just as much right as we do to have the air, right? But we also have to understand that there are predators looking at our community each and every day and saying these black folks don't know what they're sitting on and don't know what they have. So we can't discourage the growth from the community. We have to be smart and finally, as a community, work collectively how we can be the David and slay the Goliath. Exactly. And so we've done studies. When I was a trustee, we looked at getting 100,000 rooftops going east to Hammond, Indiana. But during our conversations most recently, we found out that Harvey is a straight connection to here, and Harvey doesn't have a middle person. They get it straight from the city of Chicago. Right. And their pipeline and their connection, their water infrastructure is actually closer than going to the opposite, to Chicago Heights through Hammond. Again, collectively, we have to be smart on how we can pull this thing together, but it's about financing, because then we will not be using their infrastructure, because they own that infrastructure right now. So every time that there is a pipe bust, I'm extremely happy, because I know there's new infrastructure and new pipes getting put in. So we have to work on getting this problem, because my house was on advisory. Trustee Sonia Jenkins-Bell was on advisory. My Jules was on advisory. We all live like within a minute of each other. And I know we all have concerns about that. It's how we address those concerns, because we can't continue to beat the problem over the head. Let's come up and kind of find a solution, and we can jointly all together aim toward the solution and getting those people out of our community, because they're never going to change.
You can't sleep on it.
No, you can't sleep on it.
No, we can't sleep on it, and we can't stunt our growth, because right now we're doing great things, expanding way west on I-57, new homes coming, restaurants and stores, and the residents and the community deserves that. Yes. And with that, I think that there will be an opportunity in the future. Can't say it's going to happen tomorrow.
Right.
But the longest journey starts with the first step. And if we have this thing done with all the community involvement and get the real facts on what it takes and our steps, I think we can accomplish that. But during that process, we're going to fight with you every step of the way to ensure that we get every resident the best quality of water that they can have delivered to them for the time being. So we appreciate your comment, and you can count on every individual here to fight on our behalf.
I know. I believe in you all. I believe in this team, and I believe that, this can be done.
All right.
There's nothing impossible about this.
Absolutely.
We're obligated to get clean water, man.
Yep.
That's not, that's a given. So,
all right.
Thank you much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
And Mayor, we are going back to Washington in March.
Yes, ma'am.
I plan on being there.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm going to talk to them again.
Mary Trust, please. This will be our last public comment. Yes. I said 8:15.
All right. Okay. All right, Keith, all right, we'll talk, yes.
Are you waving to him or me?
I'm talking to him, he was telling me he's gonna call me.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna talk to you. I'm not gonna call you.
Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mary Truss. I am president of the Community Block Club in University Park. We are a 501c3, and a few years ago, we decided that a group of us, ordinary people, would get together and try to make a difference in University Park. With a community comprised of mostly African American people, I've been in this community, I've been here now over 50 years. The person that I got together with to get this, apply for this 501c3, she's been here much longer than I have. And I'm African American, and she's Caucasian, but we had our plans and what we were going to do and how we were going to do it. We just needed ordinary people to do extraordinary things here. Now, it had not happened all the time I was here, so that was one thing that I decided that we needed. And that was to bring something acknowledging the makeup of this village. Now, I've been around a long time. I've worked in other communities. I've been president of the League of Women Voters. And I said, oh, I've done magnificent things for them. So I said, I know I can do these kinds of things for my community. So a group of us got together and planned to have our first contribution and acknowledging African American community that is what, 90, what's the makeup of this community? African American, and nothing had been done about it all my years of being here. So we came up with this heritage showcase. That's what we have. And this is our African American contribution. It has people that are made up of all black and brown people here. And we all got together with very little advertisement. Couldn't get it out there, didn't see it anywhere. But we had a magnificent Sunday. We started first, like I said, small. And I thought, we got to grow from that. So I got this ordinary people together, and in this room, we had an extraordinary time on Saturday. How about that, Gina? Yeah. I had trustees and village officials from other communities said that this was magnificent. It was a great program. And this didn't just happen overnight. It was from the very beginning that we got together and did the very first one. And we've been going on and on. We have no funds. We get together and we try to make things better for this community. If you notice, those of you who have been around here a long time, this village was always lit up and in preparations of the birth of Christ years ago. Then it fell off. But notice how many homes are lit up at Christmas time in celebration of Christ's birthday. I know it's it, but we just talked a long time here. We got one more thing, breakfast bingo. We'll be celebrating Women's Month with breakfast bingo on the 7th of March. It will be from 10:30 to 12:30. That's very important too. We've got to keep our village together. We've got to keep it marching forward, Mayor and trustees. And this is how you do it, with ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Okay? It's going to be held at the library, our great library. It starts at 10:30 to 12:30. It is free.
All right.
It's free.
Well, thank you so much, Mrs. Truss. With that being said, that will conclude our last public comment. Tonight is the night where there's no public comments, no reports, nothing like that, announcements. Go ahead, Trustee Lewis.
I can wait. You're right.
Is there a second? Thompson, all in favor? Opposed? This ain't happening, y'all.